And now a treat for all you golf fans out there, and we know there are a lot of you who watch Power Lunch.
Yes, there's a wonderful set of DVDs out there that showcase the famous set of instructional films that were done by golf legend Bobby Jones back in the early 1930s. These were shot at Warner Brothers Studios. The films show Bobby teaching the game of golf to various movie stars, Jimmy Cagney, W.C. Fields, and on and on and on. Joining us is the man who put the DVD package together, Steve Chamberlain, who's president of Bobby Jones Productions. And I want to know how you get that job, by the way. It's great to have you with us today.
Thank you very much.
I've seen these on VHS. I think I even saw one in a theater one time, but you know, on DVD you get a better picture here. But putting them all together, great stuff.
Yeah, it sure is. You know, the entire entertainment industry is gravitating to DVD now. And it was a much different experience back in 1986 when I licensed this actually to Ely Callaway and Cybervision, and they put them out at a very high price point. And I was in charge. Yeah, I was in charge of the film library for Ted Turner for many years.
Is that right?
And I just sort of forgot about it after I had licensed this to Ely. And about 6 months later, we started to receive these magnificent royalty payments. And I was thinking, how did I miss this? You know, I mean, Gone with the Wind is one thing, but how do you miss this? And so I found out that they'd been off the market for a couple of years now. And with DVD, I just decided to approach Warner Brothers and acquire it myself. So. In effect, what I have is it coming out on DVD for the very first time, all 18 of them. Bobby went to Hollywood in 1931, shot 12 of them. These were in 6,000 motion pictures. More than 35 million people saw them back then. And of course, we have you know, all kinds of stars. W.C. Fields.
Yeah, look at all the people that are in this. It's really incredible.
Away from the Warner backlot.
Yeah, James Cagney, Edward G. Robinson, etc., etc. So,
now, Bobby Jones himself, we need to remind people, was a huge celebrity back in the late 20s and early 30s.
Yes, he was. He was the only one to ever win the Grand Slam, which was...
To that point.
Yeah, that's right. And the 75th anniversary of the Grand Slam is next year. So the PGA Tour and the Atlanta History Center are doing a lot to commemorate this great feat. I can only imagine what he would be like today if he had the equipment that the pros are using versus the hickory sticks that he was using back then. And you can take a look at some of these production techniques. This is directed by George E. Marshall, who was a very well-known Warner Brothers director. And all of these stars, by the way, were under contract, most of them with other studios. Back then, they didn't share it with each other, but in this instance, this guy was a national hero. And, you know, we were coming out of the Great Depression at this time. So America was looking for a hero, and they found it in Bobby Jones. He had a lot of charisma.
You bring up an interesting point, though, that we were talking about before the show. In this day when you have the Big Bertha and everything else, you said, you know, playing with the clubs that he had at the time. Is this still relevant to today's golfer, or is it just an interesting DVD to watch?
It's just as relevant today. I'd say 98% of it is just as relevant today. Some of the, you know, the equipment that he was using is not apropos for today's golfers, but the underlying technique that you see in these films is very much relevant today.
Trust me, if I had his swing, if any of us had his swing, it was one of the most fluid swings. Maybe Sam Snead had a better swing, but Bobby Jones just had an incredibly fluid swing, and it wouldn't matter what he was swinging, he'd get the ball there.
A lot of people ask me, why is this guy such a big deal today? You know, he was the founder of the Masters. He founded, you know, Augusta National. And so this game is rooted so much in tradition. And I think that's the underlying reason why the public is still so fascinated with him.
Well, and let's also remember, he never was a professional golfer.
That's right. He was an amateur the whole time.
Very interesting. Maybe instead of the dumb golf, you know, crystal player or ball that you get for somebody for their desk, this might be a little bit more exciting gift.
And you put together not only the DVD package, but you got the deluxe package with the book and the whole thing. So it's something to behold for those of us who are golf fans out there. Steve, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Good luck with that. Steve Chamberlain, president of Bobby Jones Productions, joining us talking about the DVD set today.